story involving Walmart. Walmart has decided to um, tail back its DEI policy. It's not it's doing away with not doing away with it, but it's like kind of scaling it back. That's what I meant to say, scaling it back. Walmart is scaling back its DEI policy after taking some heat from conservative activists who don't really see the point of having DEI. They think it's like a form of reverse discrimination. And Walmart, of course, is big business and big corporate America. So to see a corporate place like Walmart dial DEI back is a bit of a talking point that we want to discuss. So this says Walmart rolls back DEI policies amid conservative backlash. Walmart will roll back some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, becoming the latest major company to pull back on inclusivity efforts amid pressure from conservative activists. Walmart confirmed to several outlets, including Bloomberg and the Associated Press, that it is making broad changes, including no longer giving priority treatment to suppliers based on race and gender, ending racial equity training for staffers, and exiting from the LGBTQ rights group Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index. The supposed changes were first announced on X by prominent anti-DEI conservative pundit Robbie Starbuck, who said the move was in response to the threat of him doing a story on wokeness at the company ahead of the key holiday shopping season. Starbuck claimed that he had productive conversations with executives at Walmart who promised to implement these changes. The company confirmed to Bloomberg that it had held conversations with Starbuck, but claimed it was already reviewing its DEI efforts before that. Aside from changes to its DEI policies, Walmart has also agreed to monitor its online marketplace for listings by third-party sellers that Starbucks describes as sexual and or transgender products marketed to children and remove them if necessary. The company also told AP it plans to review grants for pride events to ensure it was not financially supporting sexualized content that may be unsuitable for kids. In his post, Starbucks noted, I have to give their executives major credit because this will send shockwaves throughout corporate America. This is the biggest win yet for our movement to end wokeness in corporate America. Billionaire Elon Musk, who himself is a vocal critic of DEI initiatives and has reshared and responded to Starbucks posts previously, praised the conservative pundit's latest announcement. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, who is also President elect Trump's pick to be the next U.S. ambassador to Israel, also hailed Starbucks, calling him perhaps the most influential person in America, restoring our culture and country to sanity. Starbucks, who has more than 700,000 followers on X, has emerged as one of the most prominent conservative figures targeting companies over DEI initiatives. Starbucks scored his first win earlier this year after his online campaign against Tractor Supply's DEI policies forced the retailer to reverse course. At the time, the company announced it would stop sponsoring Pride events, stop submitting data to the Human Rights Campaign, and withdraw its carbon emission goals. Starbucks will go on to target several other major companies, including Ford, Lowe's, and Harley Davidson, who have all since also rolled back their DEI measures. 1.6 million, that's the total number of workers at Walmart. That's the total number of workers Walmart hires in the US, according to its website. This makes it the biggest American company to so far to have rolled back its DEI initiatives. The right-wing pundit indicated in an X post that he is not done targeting companies, especially large retailers. Starbucks wrote, companies like Amazon and Target should be very nervous that their top competitor dropped woke policies first. I think Target specifically will suffer serious sales problems as a result, and Walmart will benefit. So there you have it. Walmart, due to mounting pressure, apparently, is rolling back its DEI initiatives. It's not the first company to do so, but it's the biggest. So, what do you make of this development?
Honestly, bro, I'm a little surprised. This stuff is happening faster than I thought. I thought it'd be more aggressive DEI. I thought I was going to be, you know, DEI LXQ. I thought it was just going to keep adding on stuff. But nah, man, for Walmart to take a step back, um, we'll see what ends up happening with this, but I think this is pretty intriguing. Um, Especially with the um, transgender and pride stuff. So come back off of that. Like I've never thought I would see that. So I'll see what happens this upcoming June to see if Walmart, does its rainbow stuff, and its logo and all this other things like everybody else does in June. But yeah, man, I really thought that this was the wave in corporate America. I didn't think this would get rolled back anytime soon. I thought this was going to be how it is. So this is quite interesting, man. Um, but I do think there's more people out there. Excuse me. I do think there's more people out there that are neutral to don't want to see it than people out there that are just 100% for all the extra stuff. And one thing that DEI is it parades around under the guise of having um you know black people in things or whatever, or people in positions that don't earn it or whatever. But um it's a lot of this sexualization stuff to kids from these corporations because of these things. So I like the fact that they're removing that. I thought that they would never, I wouldn't see the day. So more companies need to follow suit. um Call me a conservative because I don't like it. But what are your thoughts, man, on Walmart not only rolling back its prices, but rolling back DEI? What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I always thought that at some point this stuff had to hit a boil. I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't know when. But I guess maybe we're at that inflection point where the overcorrectness is starting to correct itself.
Mm-hmm.
There was a swift overcorrection.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see it playing out in entertainment, but I think we're a ways away. I think this has cornered the entertainment industry,
Mm-hmm.
and I think where you know wokeness, if you will, can um, relent on corporate America because at the end of the day, they can maintain their stronghold over the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they can continue to do what they want with movies and television and social media and comedy, for example,
Mm-hmm.
then they can deal with Walmart deciding that they're not going to uh, overcorrect, for inclusivity based on the grounds of implementing these DEI policies. I've never been a fan of DEI because to me it's disingenuous. It was a direct response to 2020. Um, a lack of diversity has been an issue that has plagued this country since its inception. But for all this time, everybody seemed to just go along to get along. But all of a sudden in 2020, because everybody saw a tragedy take place on social media videos and people started walking the streets and rioting and looting, all of a sudden corporations decided at that point in time that they were going to care. And I don't think that that's a very sustainable model to just sort of knee jerk at a singular moment in time decide, oh, we're going to flip a switch and start caring. And then you get all of these people in these boardrooms and these focus groups to come up with the best, most comprehensive measures by which to show that you care. And DEI was a result of those board meetings and those focus groups, where it's like, how can we show everyone that we do care about this stuff now, even though we've been able to get away with not caring for so long?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, let's institute a DEI policy and let's make it public and let's put it on our website to show the world that we now care, even though our company has been in business for in some cases over 100 years, and we didn't
Mhm.
care before, so we're going to care now. In my opinion, I don't think you can legislate desire. I don't think you can do it. You can force corporations to institute policies of this nature, but at some point, the way that these companies actually function are still going to show proof because they don't actually care. Like it's not baked into the bread of the culture to actually care about these things because such a thing only came about suddenly 4 years ago.
Mhm.
So, in my opinion, it's never been a model that was sustainable. It was only a PR move to outwardly be able to show people in a front facing way that we actually care about this stuff. And we've been caring about it now for 4 years ago. So look at how great and angelic we are because now 4 years in we care about these things, and they don't really care because again you can't legislate desire, like you can't legislate what's in somebody's heart. It's an existential question. How do you make people care? And that is a Rubik's Cube that is, in my opinion, unanswerable. People, you can't just force people to care. And you can make them institute policies like DEI to force their hand, but they're going to do it with a rolled eye, or they're going to do it haphazardly, or they're going to institute it in ways that still, in some way, shape, or form, exclude somebody because now the black person who thought they had the job lost it to the trans person. And
Yeah.
for that black person, they don't give a damn that that trans person got the job because of DEI. They wanted it just as much as the trans person did. And now they're being excluded because of these ridiculous force fed policies. So I think dialing it back is the right move because you cannot legislate desire. So good for Walmart. You know, color me conservative. I've been said I'm conservative. I don't give a damn. I've already publicly defined
Boo.
myself as a bad guy.
Boo.
Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am a Sith Lord. Uh, I am a Dementor. I
Right.
am I am, what are some of these other villains in some of these other movies, right? I'm a Klingon. Weren't Klingon bad guys in Star Trek?
I think so. The
Yeah,
board.
yeah. Borg. Yes, I'm a bad guy, ladies.
Uh,
I am socially conservative, people. I have been forced into this bucket. So yes, I'm socially conservative. So I guess I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad person. So be it. And in having said that, I do not see a problem one bit with Walmart rolling back these fake inclusive initiatives because if they are not built upon a foundation that is solid, built upon a foundation in which it's rooted in the caring of the initiative on a grassroots level, it isn't sustainable. And none of this stuff was sustainable to begin with. So good for them. Roll it back and give everybody their fair shake.
yeah, man. Because what people decide to do at what I'm saying with their genitals, that's on them, man. I don't really care. But my whole thing is what people decide to do with their genitals is not everybody's business. And it doesn't need to be force fed to everybody. Um, their ideals don't need to be force fed to everybody. It doesn't need to be in every store I try to go shop. It doesn't need it, like you mentioned, the entertainment thing. Boy, it is really all over there. I mean, you can't watch nothing without something being DEI'd. And yeah, man. And so, black people, I guess, in layman's, they feel as though DEI is there to help them, but this was really a LGBT type of thing. And not just that, because well, gay people was getting hired before. So this was more in the sense of promoting a lifestyle to people, and I'm not really for that. In the stores and stuff like that, like they said, like there were certain things that were just being sold to kids, and it's like, why are you selling this to kids? Why are you doing this? Like that's not necessary. And I've known people that were in the community, they were gay people, and they weren't, they were like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying, they're not mad that they're being shown in TV shows and stuff like that. But at the same time, there was a situation of like, look, everything that is being promoted out here on our behalf, we're not always all for that. Similar to like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Like, who's not against police brutality? Like, let's be real here. But at the same time, these movements get co-opted by bad actors. And then they start promoting stuff out there or initiatives out there that don't really serve the people that are supposed to serve. It's got some other weird ulterior motive and agenda behind it. And one thing that DEI had was it had some strange stuff in there. And it wasn't all the way kosher. And like you said, man, you're forcing people to care about something that they don't really care about. So you can't make me care. So yeah, man, like, yeah, it's a disingenuous movement. That's a good way of putting it, man. It was nothing. You can't make me care about what other people got going on because nobody really cares. But we don't want to see it all the time. We just don't. So yeah, man, I'm with that. And for anybody else out there that's like, oh well, DEI is this. Well, just create your own. Create your own operation and DEI it up. You know what I'm saying? Just see y'all on that last. You know what I'm saying? But just create your own. If you don't like how these corporations are running things, because we talk about this all the time. Hell, we talked about it earlier with the movie making thing. And if you don't like how things are going, to these extent, man, just go out there and create your own, do your own thing, and hire who you want to hire and do whatever you want to do, man.
No one's
But
gonna care.
yeah,
No
but these major corporations making them and this is the last thing I say, because whenever people talk about these things and they say, trans this, trans that, and their rebuttal is, we only talk about 1% of the population of the people. It's like, exactly. So why did it need to be in 50% of the movies? Be in 1% of the movies. Then they're authentically represented. But they shouldn't be all up in the store. They shouldn't be all up in the videos. They shouldn't be that. But, and that was my whole thing. So, yeah, I'm with this, man. Y'all can boo me as a conservative person that's preserving the innocent minds out there that don't need to know about sex like that when they're 4 or 5 years old. Let the kids be kids and let them figure things out when they get a little bit older. And from the sounds of it, that sounds like that's what the stuff that they were against was, pushing this on everybody, and then especially the kids. So yeah, look out, Target. Look out to other people, man. Y'all need to roll it back yourselves, I would say.
Yeah, I despise Walmart for other reasons. So this is not gonna get me to start spending my money in Walmart again.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But I don't fault them one bit for this. You can't sustain fake caring.
Agreed.
You can't sustain it. And furthermore, you can't sustain fake caring and want to be profitable at the same time.
Agreed.
Like, those two things don't work. If Walmart is going to continue to make billions and billions of dollars a year, they probably recognize that trying to keep this fake caring game going on wasn't the move. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. I think it's a joke.
Agreed.